start reading it and see if it's any good. Oh yeah, this series, it's called Magic because that was the name of the main character. Chapter 1. It all started with the rain. Before the day I'm about to describe even happened, I had never experienced a proper hailstorm. That morning in the car, one of the female newsreaders, see, I was all on that gender representation, obviously, announced all southern counties will be experiencing rapid rainfall and possible hail during the next few days. We advise you to keep driving slowly and cautiously throughout this heavy... Why have I done a weather read? What is the point of this? There'll be no driving at all if this queue doesn't hurry up, Mum tutted impatiently, tapping her long and manicured nails on the steering wheel. I still have a bit of ASMR for that. I don't actually get ASMR, but for long nails I still have that, so I included that in the story because obviously it's important. Monday mornings were the worst time to go driving here in London. Added an E. Is it London? Is it not London? Who knows? Mum peered at me in her rear view mirror. Look at you, she smiled, as white as a sheet. I tried hard to ignore her. My skin was generally that colour anyway, like a zombie's or a ghost's. It was hereditary. Dad had pale skin. However, that morning I probably looked even worse than usual. I know Sunday nights are meant to have been well slept, so you're all bright and breezy in school the next day. On Friday nights you can finish your homework and then go on MSN till gone 11. It's not really any different now. It's my Friday nights. On Saturday nights, you can stay in watching TV. Oh, this is so tragic, because there are normally really good programmes on then. I mean, maybe not tragic when you're 11, but like, that's kind of my routine now. But on Sunday nights, it's bed at 9, no computer, full stop. Bed at 9 o'clock. I went to bed at 9. I mean, this character did, but I'm pretty sure I'm basing her on me at the moment, so 9 o'clock, man. I went to bed at 2 last night. I suppose I slept quite well at first. Then for some reason I woke at 3:30 to sip from the glass of water I normally have in my bedside cabinet. That's extremely useful information. Realising I didn't have one, I crept down the 2 creaky flights of stairs to the dark, normally silent kitchen. Thumping gusts falling through the many house tents, dustbins falling over, squawking cats and barking dogs. I felt like the roof would blow off any minute. Maybe my attic bedroom would get a bashing. I always wanted an attic bedroom, they're so cool. Me, Mum, my idiotic older brother Lance, and my dad. Oh, I don't have a brother, so obviously it's diverging from me now. I absolutely despise this house. It's tall and black, cobwebbed and ancient, like a haunted house. A home isn't the only one on a street like it. The entire road is identical, towering houses. Indigo Street. Number 7. Padding out onto the landing, I peered up the terrifying, noisy stairs to the first floor. Where the first bathroom was, I stuck one toe out, and nothing happened. Feeling slightly braver, I crouched slightly and attempted the first stair. It creaked enormously. I jumped, startled, and sped-walked straight back to the kitchen. I always feel safer in Mum's presence. Maybe it's because I feel like she's bewitched the house. Pause. It was 9:15 when I finally burst into technology. I hated technology. The first thing I heard was Eleanor Humphreys give out a loud, low-pitched shriek at me. Ugh, what? A male teacher I didn't recognise blinked at me. He was obviously a supply. Name, he asked me, sounding quite anxious. I sighed. Magic Lesson. Tucking my ink black hair, okay not me, just like Mum's, out of my school t-shirt collar. It had got soaked in a sudden downpour just a few steps out of the car. The gale blowing was so bitterly strong I couldn't manage to pull my black faux fur jacket on over my top. How classy. Okay, I'm just kind of talking about school now. It's about lessons and stuff. Her name isn't on the register. Oh no! And then these nasty kids taunt Magic and they say, Magic, magic, always tragic. Oh, I'm lost. Oh my gosh, I remember that. Such a little vampire, come on, let me bite your neck.
Hello darkness, my old friend.
I ended up going to the office after all. They gave me lines to do in a year 7 class during science. Naughty, naughty, they chirruped. I felt like biting them. 8th period seemed to last forever. I packed up my things and made my way to the double doors leading outside rather reluctantly. And just a few steps on the grass, an almighty blow flew against me. It pushed me so strongly I could barely walk. Icicle-shaped hailstones dug into my legs and hair. It was incredibly painful. Magic, I heard somebody yelling. Ooh, who is it? At first, I mistook it for the wind. It was this boy called Taylor I'd known since nursery. Boy. We used to be inseparable until the juniors, when he suddenly became obsessed with football. Ever since, we'd kind of gone our separate ways. I'd actually forgotten he had got the same secondary school as me 2 years ago. 2 years ago? How would you forget that if he was your friend? He was holding a black umbrella. Next time, pack a coat with a hood, he advised, holding it above us. Aww. What a cutie. Sorry, Mr. Tomset. I never realised you had the full manual on how to control me in my every move, I poked him, laughing softly. Ha, what a sass master. Go on, Magic. Then there was a pause where we struggled to keep under the umbrella whilst avoiding some large puddles. So, how's year 9 going? He asked me gently. She's in year 9? Lame. All this stupid preparation for GCSEs. I don't know what I want to do yet. Same girl, same. And I've just graduated. I do, he smiled simply. I want to be a marine biologist. That makes sense, your father is one. He laughed. Yeah. Another pause. How's your investigation going? He asked me curiously. Yeah, this investigation needs major explanation. I said this chapter started with rain. It ended in hail. Chapter 2. I'll read 2 chapters and then we'll wrap up. My first sign happened when I was about 6 or 7 years old. I was sitting on the bottom of the first flight of stairs facing the front door during one of Mum's house parties. She's still obsessed with them today. What with all the friends and family, the gifts, the drinks, the gossip. Lance was 8 or 9 at the time, that's her brother. Yes, it's time to introduce my idiotic, moronic brother into the equation. There we go. What a nice description. He wears brown glasses with rectangular lenses, in brackets, a real geek. Hey, glasses are cool. And lastly, he teases me and teases me and teases me. Anyway, I was sitting on the stairs because Mum had made me. I recall she threatened to lock me forever in my room if I did otherwise, when she opened the front door to another large array of guests. At this moment, Lance bounded like a wild dog down the stairs, past me, past most of the other guests, obviously noticing something I hadn't. Then I saw who he was aiming for. It was Aunt Lily. I had this thing about the name Lily, spelled L-I-L-I. It's very odd. If you don't know who Aunt Lily is, you probably will after I describe her. Nah, Neve, really? You'll know what she looks like, and or is like, after you describe her. Makes sense. His mum's younger sister. They do have some family resemblance in the black hair and deep blue eyes, but Aunt Lily is way more extravagant than Mum, donning necklaces of chunky black beads, exquisite engraved rings on every finger and thumb, flowing black shawls sprinkled with stuck silver glitter, and black feathered earrings with silver beads and black ribbon dangling down to her tanned shoulders. The other hereditary skin colour. Mum had it too. She normally made a big fuss of Lance, but this time she barely gave him a brisk hug. Instead, she almost ran towards me, slipping once in her black bejeweled flip-flops. How trendy. Flip-flops. How are you, Magic? She smiled at me, squatting down on my left. Fine, Aunt Lily, I replied almost immediately. Her face dropped slightly. How are your teeth? She whispered slowly. I looked at her sideways in confusion. Sorry, there's a motorbike. Have you had too much to drink, Aunt Lily? I asked her questioningly. No, dear, she told me hurriedly. I mean, how are your canines? I stared after her, baffled, determined to find out what she had meant. As soon as my class had library time at school, I shuffled past the other girls reading fiction on princesses and kittens and peas, right into the adults non-fiction section, running my fingers along the thick spines bearing long complicated names until I reached the tea area. I quickly found a book on healthy lifestyle for your teeth or something. Because, you know, your teeth do need a healthy life, obviously. Settling down cross-legged on the floor, I searched in the index under C for canines. Eventually I set my eyes on pages 68 to 69, coming across a large cartoon diagram of the inside of the mouth. The canines with the pointed teeth at the top and bottom. These ones... ... cut my finger. The next ton of these signs started rolling in. I ended up writing them down in a large blank book I found piled under a floorboard in my attic bedroom. Then in year 5 I became pretty much stuck on adults' books about vampirism. I sat on the floor in the mostly deserted adults' fiction aisle, turning page after page. One day during library time, pathetic Eleanor Humphreys thought it would be funny to spy on me reading. Completely oblivious to the fact that Eleanor Humphreys is like the bully character in this story. She childishly ran up to me shouting, "Boo!" I blinked at her. The next thing I did was utterly automatic. I knew it was idiotic, but I couldn't seem to help it. I bared my teeth at her. Eleanor gave one of the loudest ever shrieks, she tends to shriek a lot for some reason, before running at top speed away from me. Then she developed that idiotic rhyme for me with her girly chums. Possibly worse, however, was that Lance snuck into my attic room whilst I was downstairs just after the Eleanor experience, and found my book on the certain signs I'd been spotting. Ever since then he's teased me to dimension. Leading on from that point, pun not intended, one of my more major signs was when I woke up during one of Mum's house party nights, only to find a large group of bats hanging from the ceiling. I mean, how many bats coincidentally are sleeping in your room on one of my mum's party nights? None. Does that mean the guests are sleeping in her room? That's kind of weird. Even more importantly, when I waved my hands at them, instead of flying off normally through the window I'd opened, most of them just opened one eye at me, giving a "what are you doing, go back to sleep little girl" look. Not normal. Therefore I think, but I'm not 100% sure, really, that I belong to a family of vampires. Dun dun dun! I actually quite enjoyed reading that. I hope it comes across. I mean, I was taking the piss a bit, but thanks for watching this. I know it was pretty random. Thanks for watching. Do what you want with the social media aspect of my life. You can like, subscribe, do whatevers. I'm gonna sip my mojito. I promise I don't literally only drink mojitos. I don't know why it's turned up in 2 videos now. Awesome! Thanks for watching. Bye bye. What the hell was that? I don't even... There we go. Hands. So awkward. Stay tuned for the rest of my magic series. Ha ha ha. Bye bye.